Hello, I am Professor Raju Thenge from Dr. Rajendra Gode College of Pharmacy, Malkapur. Today we are going to discuss a common topic that is used in the pharmaceutics called as microencapsulation techniques. In this, we have discussed introduction, objectives of microencapsulation, its fundamental consideration, in that core material and the coating material, and various manufacturing methods of microcapsules. So actually what is meant by microcapsule? So microencapsulation is a process by which small or the tiny droplets or particles of a liquid or the solid material that can be coated with a continuous film of a polymeric material. It is mean of applying a thin coating to small particle of solid or droplets of a liquid and the dispersion. The product obtained by this process is called as a microparticles or microcapsules. Particles having the diameter in the range of 3 to 800 micron are known as microparticles or microcapsules or microspheres. Particles larger than 1000 micrometer are known as a macroparticle. So microcapsulation basically it consists of inner material called as a core material and the outer layer called as a shell, or it is a coating material. The particle size of microencapsulation, it should be in the range of 50 to 500 micron. So basically it consists of two material, one is called as a core material and other one is a coating material. So core material that may be coated by the coating material. So these microcapsules are again divided into the number of types depending of a nuclei. So it is mononuclear, polynuclear or the matrix type of drug microencapsulation. Mononuclear means it consists of a single core material. Polynuclear means it consists of a number of nuclei, and matrix means the drugs are dispersed into the polymeric material, that is called as a matrix type of microcapsules. So what are the objectives of microencapsulation? So microencapsulations are generally carried out for various reasons, such as to mask the bitter taste or odor of the drugs. Some drugs which are having the bitter taste or odor, so that can be masked by using a microencapsulation techniques. Second one is to increase the bioavailability of the drugs. Certain drugs having the low bioavailability, so this method may be used to improve the solubility as well as the dissolution rate of the drug. So it's ultimately improve the bioavailability of the drug. Next one, to protect the reactive substance from the environment. So certain drugs or the active pharmaceutical ingredients or the liquids, they are not stable to the environment. Okay, if the substances is susceptible to the oxygen, so it undergo the oxidation. If certain materials they are not stable in the air or light, so they may be protected by means of a microencapsulation techniques. Next one is to convert a volatile liquid component into the dry systems or the dry solid. So volatile liquids or the volatile oils which are used for the flavoring agents, so these oils may be converted into the solid form, so it may be stable. To separate the incompatible components for functional reasons, to control the release of the active components from the formulation as a delay release drug delivery system or sustained release drug delivery system, or it may also be used to prepare the targeted drug delivery systems. Also, the microencapsulation techniques protects the drug that causes the GI irritations. So fundamental consideration, in the fundamental consideration there are the two important points. One is the core material and second one is the coating materials, or it is called as a shell. Okay, core material, the material that may be coated, or it is a volatile drug, volatile liquid, non-volatile liquids, dispersion, or any other material that should be coated, that is called as a core material. And coating material, it is a polymer that may forms a film over the surface of a core material. So various polymers are used as a coating material, such as water soluble polymers, water insoluble polymer, lipid and waxes, enteric coated polymers, etc. Core material, the material to be coated, it may be liquid or it may be a solid one. Liquid core material may be dissolved or dispersed into the material. Along with this core material, there is a use of other excipients such as diluents, stabilizers, resin, waxes, lipids, release rate accelerators or the release rate retardants, plasticizers and the coloring agents. So these are the various type of active ingredient that may be coated or that may be coated or that is called as a core material. So number of examples of core materials such as aspirin, which is having the slightly water soluble characteristics. So this aspirin may be coated or encapsulated for the various reasons, such as for the taste masking, to prepare the sustained release product, to reduce the gastric irritation, separation of incompatibilities, and finally these microcapsules may be converted to the tablets or the capsule form. Another one example is acetaminophen. It is a slightly water soluble compound, so it may be converted into the microcapsules to prepare a sustained release product. Finally, it may be converted into the tablet or the capsules. Another one example is a methyl salicylate or the menthol. It is a volatile liquid. If it is exposed to the environment, it is not stable. It may get volatile. So this volatile oil may be converted to the solid form by the mechanism of microencapsulation, and finally it may be incorporated into the final preparation such as lotion. Another one example is a vitamin A palmitate. It is a non-volatile liquid, but if it is exposed, it undergoes the oxidation. So to prevent the oxidations of vitamin A palmitate, it may microencapsulated, and finally it may be present in the form of dry powders. Then isosorbate dinitrate is a water soluble compound. It may be converted into the microcapsules for the sustained release effect, and finally it may be added into the capsule. Then another important parameters of fundamental consideration, it is a coating material. The coating materials are nothing but a polymer that is used in the microencapsulation techniques. Polymers are substances of a high molecular weight that is made up by repeating the monomer units. Polymer molecules may be linear or branch, and separate linear or branch chain may be joined by the crosslinks. Polymers are used widely in the pharmaceutical system as adjuvant, coating materials, and a component of a controlled and the site-specific drug delivery system. Coating material has the certain properties so that it may be useful in the formulation of microcapsules. So first characteristics, stabilization of the core material. It should be stabilize the core material inert towards the active ingredient. So coating material does not react with the active ingredient as well as the other components of formulation. Control release under the specific condition. It may releases the drug in a controlled manner. Then it should have the film forming characteristics. It is a pliable, it should be a tasteless, and it must be a stable one. It should not be a hygroscopic in nature. It should have a not high viscosity, and it should be also an economical one. It should be soluble in aqueous media or solvent, or it should be melt. The coating can be flexible, brittle, hard, thin. So coating material should form a good uniform or thin film over the surface of a core materials. So list of coating material that may be used in the microencapsulation that are divided into 4 types: water soluble resins, water insoluble resins, wax and lipids, and enteric coated resins. Water soluble resins, that is the polymer that are soluble into the water, such as gelatin, gum, PVP, CMC, methyl cellulose, polyvinyl acetate, arabinogalactam, polyacrylic acids. Another one category that is used to prepare the microcapsules, that is water insoluble resins: ethyl cellulose, polyethylene, polymethacrylate, cellulose nitrate, and silicones. Then again certain category of coating material that is used called as a waxes and the lipids. So paraffin, carnauba wax, beeswax, stearic acid, stearic alcohol that may also be used as a coating material in the microencapsulation techniques. And another one and the last one is enteric resins. So these enteric resins are generally used to prepare the enteric coated microcapsules by using a enteric material such as shellac, zine, cellulose acetate, phthalate, etc. So number of microencapsulation techniques are used in the pharmaceutics for the microencapsulation, and these are widely used. So number of techniques that may be applicable for the liquid as well as the solid, and depending on the size of the particles. So very first method and commonly used method of microencapsulation is a air suspension method that is applicable to the solid materials, and the particle size should be in the range of 35 to 5000 micrometer. Then phase separation coacervation method, it may be applicable to the liquid as well as the solid, and the size of the particle should be 2 to 5000 micrometer. Solvent evaporation method, that is applicable to the liquid as well as the solid, and applicable for the particle size 5 to 5000 micrometer. Multi-orifice centrifugal method, it may also applicable for the liquid as well as the solid, and the size of the particle should be 1 to 5000 micrometer. Spray drying and the spray congealing method, it may also applicable for the solid as well as the liquid one, and the particle size it should be 600 micrometer. And last one method is the pan coating, that is only applicable for the solid materials, and the particle size of the drug it should be 600 to 5000 micrometer. So this is all about the microencapsulation basics considerations. If you like this video, you can share or like my YouTube channel. Thank you.